So guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm actually talking about why I am so damn passionate about the online education industry. And at the end, I'm actually going to be announcing the giveaway that I did. So around 2 weeks ago, I posted in the six-figure estimate community. I basically did a 30 question long survey, and because I wanted to collate all of these answers and just use them to make the product better and better and make the program better and better. So yeah, I also told the community that I'll pick one person and they'll actually be getting a fully top of the line MacBook Pro. I think it retails at $2,800 US. So pretty good giveaway. So unfortunately you won't be able to enter, or probably you already did enter if you're part of Six Figure SMA, but we had 278 respondents in literally like a week or something, and then I held it off for another week because I was sick. So yeah, let's get right into it. So obviously a lot of you guys know that I have my online education company, which is growyouragency.com. At the time of releasing this, I don't actually know if the website is live yet. We've been working on it for like the last 3 months, but everything was rebranded to Grow Your Agency at this point. And last year, for example, I taught lots of things, because to be honest, I know quite a lot about building a very successful agency, because I've done that, but I also know quite a lot about selling online educational programs because I've done that and I do it for my clients. And I know a lot about actually running Facebook ads and running paid traffic, and I know a lot about mindset. But my point is, last year I kind of had a couple different programs, and I really wiped all of it away and decided to go all in on the agency stuff because, quite frankly, it is, in my opinion, the highest quality of life if you do it right. My agency alone pays for all of my needs. I have nice things in my life, but my agency at $45,000 a month, that pays for my lifestyle. I don't need any more money. To be honest, I live off of anywhere from 15 to 20K a month. So, I really just don't need any more money than that. And the agency stuff, as I said, if you do it right, it's very predictable, the cash flow, because you've got your monthly retainers coming in. If you're gonna lose a client, you kind of know, you kind of know in your heart or in your gut if you're gonna lose them. And with all clients, you have 3-month minimums anyways. So cash flow is really good. The profit margins are literally just ridiculous. And it's very, very hands-off, as I said, if you use the Expedia business model, and if you focus on, working, and it's funny, I started using all these terms like a year and a half ago, and since then, like, everyone started using them. But one of the, I guess, buzz phrases, one of the things that people really relate to or love when I say is, just working on the business, not in it. And by that, I mean working on the different facets of the business and making sure that you're doing the things that are ROI generating. All right. So anyways, that kind of brings me back to my point. With growyouragency.com, which hopefully the full website should be launched by now. It's super, super sick. So I have my online education company, but my agency, which I'm sure a lot of you guys know, we serve majority info product and online education companies, right? And we have some, past and present. Some of our clients have included, obviously, Oura Ring. I'm not wearing mine right now. I only wear mine when I go to sleep. Probably should wear it all the time, but Oura Ring, obviously, just incredible company. Kevin Rose was one of our past clients. He's just a total beast, and I didn't even know he was a beast until, I told my community, I'm like, yeah, Kevin Rose is a new client, and they're like, holy shit. And I was like, why? Like, I guess I didn't understand the magnitude. He's a big person to a lot of people. AJ Smart, another one of our longest clients and one of our most successful clients, and just a client that, like, all these clients, I just feel so proud, money aside and just how fun they are to work with. Just like, I feel so proud to represent some of these companies, like, just a genuine sense of fucking pride. And, as I said, a lot of my agency clients, and actually majority, are info product businesses. Now you might be wondering, why did you decide to help people who have online courses and coaching programs, right? And my agency used to be scattered. We used to serve a bunch of different niches, And then it was around April last year, April of 2018, that I decided to niche down on info businesses, right? And literally my thinking behind that was, it's something I'm passionate about. And I think that's the best thing to do with your agency, is just to serve a niche that you are super passionate about. And I am so fucking happy that, you know, our clients, the clients we work with, we vet, right? We not only vet them as in, are they qualified to work with us? Can they afford to work with us? Will they not be a pain in the ass client? I also make sure that they know what the fuck they're talking about, right? And their products are good, right? So for example, a client like AJ Smart, like I feel so proud, so proud that I get to help Jonathan and his team. You know, Jonathan, way before he ever started, you know, his online programs and stuff like that. And, you know, we started helping him with his online programs and whatnot. You know, Jonathan was doing, I won't say the exact amount, but multiple 7 figures a year in revenue, right? Just from his agency, his 20-person agency. Some of his clients include Slack, Google, etc. And, you know, I feel so proud that someone like that gets to teach people, because someone like that, you know, someone like Jonathan has actually done it, you know, and that's why I just get so infuriated at the education system and college, because I think it is unethical and immoral to ever let someone teach something that they haven't done. I think it is fucking ludicrous that, you know, some business professor can teach when he's never fucking built a business. You know, I just like, you know, most of the stuff with college is just ludicrous. The amount of student debt there is ludicrous, and the price of college keeps going up and student results keep going down. And, you know, it's so funny because colleges don't fucking take responsibility for anything. You know, if there's someone out there, like for example, you know, growagency.com, if my customers and my students were getting terrible results, everyone would know. Everyone would know, and I'd have to take responsibility for that. And basically my entire company would be tarnished, right? Because who the fuck wants to work with someone who can't actually get them results? Yet, when people look at college, the success rate is so terrible, and colleges take absolutely no, you know, colleges take absolutely no care, or they put zero time into actually thinking, you know, does this get people results? You know, like I would love to see, like I have no issues with college. You know, I would have no issues with college, for example, if they paid students, if they charged students $0 to be a part of the program, and instead for the first 10 years out, you know, when they get out of college, they have to take, they just take a percentage of their income, right? Because at least then they have some sort of buy-in. At least then they have, you know, some sort of skin in the game. All right, so, you know, it's a very, that's definitely a video for another day, just how fucking corrupt, broken, and just ridiculous the entire education industry is, and just how much of a cash grab and money grab it actually is. Like I find it just hilarious when people are like, online courses are scams, you know, a $500, $1,000, a $2,000, fuck, even a $5,000 or $10,000 online course or program, you know, people are like, oh, that's a scam, blah, blah, when it's taught by someone who's actually, and that's the most important thing. You have to properly vet someone. And, you know, to be honest, I think a lot of time you can just kind of look in someone's eyes and you can just kind of know whether they've done what they've actually said. You know, I you know, not to get like too woo or whatever, but these days when I meet a business owner, or, you know, or someone tries to network with me, a lot of time, you know, just speaking with them, and, you know, sometimes even just meeting them in person, I can kind of just tell. I can kind of just tell by their conviction, by the, you know, I can tell by their conviction, I can tell by that look in their eye, you know, what they've gone through. Okay, so instead, that's the most important thing when you are looking at online programs, is find someone who actually has done it, and don't ever take anything at face value, right? Even with me, you know, like even people in the agency space, you know, tons of people have successful agencies, yet where are their clients? You know, do their clients even exist? Whereas with me, there's never been a single client ever that I've claimed to work with without proof of working with them, without a testimonial from working with them, without me sitting in their fucking office with them, and they're literally sat next to me and they're like, yeah, you know, we've been working with Iman for 6 months and he's incredible, blah, blah. So, you know, as I said, you have to, don't take things at face value. Really drill down and see if someone is who they say they are. But once they are who they say they are, you know, would you rather pay $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 for an online course one time to get knowledge from someone who's actually done it? Or would you rather go to college where you're paying 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,000 a year for 4 years from someone who's never done it, and you don't know what the success rate is, like, and they just take zero, it seems like they just take like zero initiative or care as to whether their students actually even get results. So that's kind of like a quite a long ramble as to why my agency serves infoprog businesses. As I said, I feel so proud that we get to serve online education companies that then help, like, you know, for example, one of our clients, Cameron Foos, actually, he's our client as of this month. He actually just brought everything in-house. You know, he's been a day trader for 15 years, right? And I've seen Cam in action, and he is incredible. And furthermore, you know, in the past few years, he's even brought on additional people, additional coaches, you know, as he's had to focus more on the operations of his business and hasn't had as much time to trade. For example, you know, he's brought on incredible coaches that are in the trenches every day. So not only do you have him, you have his entire team. And, you know, my point is, you know, I feel so proud that someone like Cameron Foos, we were able to literally make him hundreds of thousands, you know, and more than that, we were able to affect hundreds of people who got into his program and then went on to get results, you know, if they actually put some fucking work in and committed. So, as I said, that's kind of why I have my agency, and that's why my agency serves primarily infoprog businesses. And when we do serve e-commerce businesses like Oura Ring, I mean, I only have good things to say about Oura Ring. It's just a revolutionary product, and as I said, I feel an immense sense of pride that I've been able to work with them. So yeah, that's that. And that kind of brings me on to this. So we had almost, let's just say 300 responses, and there were 30 questions. So that is what, 9,000 like individual responses to questions. And yeah, it was fucking cool, you know, reading through all of them. And Kieran, who's actually the product manager and product developer at Grow Your Agency, you know, he compiled it all into this, you know, and you can by the way, you can start to see some of the Grow Your Agency branding, but you know, he compiled all of this into, you know, this little deck. I actually had to get a bigger stapler because this thing is like so chunky. So yeah, you know, this thing has just been honestly like gold. Like I literally would have paid $300,000 just to figure out this information. So, you know, being able to get all of this information from students of how, you know, their experience with it, you know, you know, their purchase summary, you know, the process, you know, what seemed to be like the common theme of how they purchased the program, you know, what other programs they were looking at, you know, what made them purchase, you know, how did it meet your expectations, you know, what actual, you know, out of 10, what would you give it? Was there something missing? Blah, blah. Like we have, how likely is it that you will recommend Six Figure SMA to a friend or colleague? And we had, you can see majority 10 out of 10. Correct, there we go. Yeah, you can see majority 10 out of 10. We had a lot of 9 out of 10s, 8 out of 10s as well. But we also had some, we had 2 1 out of 10s. We had one, you know, 2 people who said 1 out of 10. We had another 2 people who said either a 2 out of 10 or a 3 out of 10. And to me, that's actually been the most valuable information, is just people who actually didn't enjoy the program, although like almost just over 50% said 10 out of 10. And, you know, pretty much 80% said either 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, or 10 out of 10. You know, it was really the 1 out of 10s and stuff like that that I was really looking at. So yeah, anyways, this information was absolutely gold, but you know, I hope this video, as I said, just kind of giving you some context as to Look at all these graphics. Like I'm so excited for you guys to see the Grow Your Agency website. These are all like custom graphics. They were hand sketched and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, some key learnings to take away. Like, as I said, this thing I literally would have paid $100,000 for this. So, you know, to get all of this for a MacBook Pro, I mean, I could have even just gotten it for free. I didn't really have to give away a MacBook Pro, but you know, at least it's some incentive. You know, it was just absolute gold. But you know, hopefully this beginning part of this video really just, you know, gave you some context as to the lens that the lens I view the world, the lens in which I view the world with, and why I do some of the things I do. Because some of you guys might be wondering, you know, Iman, if you're so successful with your agency, you know, or if, as you said, you know, your agency funds your entire lifestyle, why do you have your, you know, your online education company, growyouragency.com? And that's a great question. And hopefully that this has shone some light on why. You know, for me, I'm 19, and you know, even Kieran, to be honest, who's my executive product manager, he asks me sometimes, he's like, Iman, like, why do you even have the growyouragency.com? Because to be entirely honest, like, growyouragency.com and the online education business, it hasn't been very profitable this year. You know, we're still doing multiple six figures in revenue since the beginning of the year, like multiple, but the expenses have just been so fucking high. For my agency, it's just me and one employee, and you know, I literally spend 5 or 6 hours a week on my agency. And then for growyouragency.com, it's me, 3 other employees, 2 other contractors, like 10 service providers, fucking 30 softwares, ridiculous other expenses, and other expenses always like crop up. And I literally work on it 60 to 70 hours a week. It's honestly ridiculous to look at sometimes. And as I said, that's why even Kieran asked me that question. My own product manager, he's like, Iman, why do you even do this? And as I said, the reason for me is, number one, I gotta be honest with you, I'm 19. I'm 19 and I have everything I could realistically want. You know, there's some things I haven't bought yet that I'd like to have, but they're just not a priority. Maybe like a fancy supercar or something like that. But apart from that, I have most of the stuff that I want, you know? Like, I'm probably the most boring 19-year-old millionaire you're ever gonna meet. Like, I spend my evenings reading my Kindle with an incense stick and classical music playing in the background. Like, I don't go out much, and yeah, I go to, like, I try to get 9 hours of sleep every night. Like, I'm, you know, like I go to bed early, I wake up early, I work, I read. That's like most of the shit I do. I watch documentaries. I love documentaries. And yeah, you know, I'm kind of just a boring 19-year-old who happens to be a millionaire. You wouldn't expect me to act like this, but that's just kind of why. So my point is, like, more money to me literally doesn't do anything, right? And as I said, you're gonna find out. And here's the thing: if I was on the opposite side and someone told me that, you know, when I was absolutely broke, I'd be like, haha, like I always kind of knew money wouldn't make me happy, but I would always hear, I'm like, yeah, I know money doesn't make you happy, but like, come on, like, you know, come on, like, if you got a Rolex on your wrist and, you know, you're in a nightclub popping bottles, or you're in your fucking supercar, driving around on the weekend, like, I think I'll be happy. But it's true, right? Money really doesn't make you happy, but what will make you happy is it's that golden, I've honestly found it's that golden boundary, that like 10 to maybe like 30K a month mark. That's the golden area to be at, right? Because at that point, you know, you have everything you could ever need, and you can even indulge yourself and splash on yourself sometimes, but then you don't start getting into, you know, you don't start thinking about ridiculous things. Like, I even found last year, as I was, you know, clocking in couple $100,000 a month, I even started to think, I'm like, you know, why don't I just fucking buy this McLaren? You know, I was like, fuck, you know, like, I make way too much money not to have a car. Like, I should buy a McLaren, right? I don't need a McLaren. Like, if I had a McLaren outside my home, I'd be pissed, because I look every day, I'm like, I never leave. I think I only ever leave the house to go for gym, and anywhere I go for I walk there. So why do I need this thing? Or, you know, I was like, you know, I'm into jewelry. I love jewelry. So I'm like, you know what? You know, my jewelry collection's nice. I have, you know, 3 watches I like, plus some other nice jewelry. That's kind of like the only thing I splurge on, because I actually really love jewelry and fashion and stuff like that. And even though I wear a gray t-shirt in this video, funnily enough, the reason I wear mainly just like plain colors in videos is because I don't want to wear some of my more like eccentric t-shirts or whatever, because I'll honestly just look like so bougie. But anyways, my point is, you know, I even thought, I'm like, oh, you know what, why don't I get a Patek Philippe? You know, why don't I just spend 60,000 pounds on a Patek Philippe? Like I'm rich enough. You know, and you start to think about these things that really have no benefit or bring any sort of there's diminishing returns. You know, once you have a nice watch, anything after that is kind of a diminishing return. Once you have a nice car, anything after that is a diminishing return. Even the home I'm in right now, I was thinking, I'm like, I make way too much money to only be living in a place that's like roughly 4,000 pounds a month. You know, I need to upgrade to like a 10, 15K a month place. But like, I couldn't even find anything that I liked. I love my place so much. So my point is, you know, that 10 to 30K a month mark, that's really where I found you're going to be the happiest and you're going to have the highest quality of life. All right. Because obviously the more money you make, the more pressure you have and the more spinning plates there are. So, you know, that hopefully should answer your question as to why I do the online education company. Is number one, I'm young, more money to me. You know, it's really not going to make me, it's not going to bring much extra benefit to my life. You know, for me, you know, last year was very, very profitable. You know, for me, the difference between making, you know, 150,000 pounds a month and making 300,000 pounds a month or 500,000 pounds a month, it really doesn't do much for me. Or even the difference between making, you know, 30,000 a month and making 100,000 a month doesn't really help my life that much. So for me, I need something big. You know, I need a big challenge that I can tackle, and that's what that's what the education industry and the education system is to me. It is a big, fat challenge that I can tackle. And, you know, you can look at some of my stuff back in 2017. I've been saying this for 2 years. My Instagram bio for 2 years has been, I'm on a mission to reform the education system. For 2 years. It's always been like that. This isn't something new. This isn't something new. This isn't some, you know, cool catch line or phrase that I've come up with. I've lived this for the past 2 years. Right, so that's why I'm so passionate about the online education company. Is it's a huge challenge that I genuinely feel I can tackle, and I have enough time considering how young I am to tackle. And I'd say that's, you know, that and just how infuriated I am by the education system where it is right now, and just how happy I am, you know, reading all of this like student success and, you know, all of these people quitting their jobs. And, you know, everything from, you know, some people in here making 20, 30K a month to some people who just quit their job, you know, and they have 2 clients, and that means that they don't have to go to work every day. You know, they don't have to commute and be pissed off, or they don't have to, you know, they don't have the pressure of college. You know, they can, even with 2 clients, they can just enjoy their life. So it's getting a little long now. I'm sorry I've gone on a few tangents, but that is why I'm so passionate about the online education system, and that's why my agency represents primarily online education companies. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to hop on over to my computer and, you know, reveal who won the fully spec'd MacBook Pro. So, ladies and gents, what we're going to do right now is I actually downloaded survey questions or answers on a CSV file. So what I'm actually going to do is we're going to pop in the random number generator and then see what comes up, and then try to give them a ring on Facebook, and then hopefully if they answer, it's cool. If they don't, I guess I'll just have to message them and figure out there. So yeah, as I said, we had 278 responses. So random number generator 1 to 278, let's generate 188. So as you can see right here, the tab starts off at 2 rather than 1. So we're going to do 188 plus 1. So 189. 189th row down is the person. So yeah, let's see. One person is about to get a MacBook Pro, and it is Gavin. So Gavin Klauser is the lucky winner of the MacBook Pro. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're here on Six Figure SMA, 1,100 people who have actually joined the community, and, you know, some other people get caught up, busy, whatever, and they don't actually join it. But let's look up Gavin. So Gavin right here, Gavin Klauser. Let's go ahead and Message. Oh, he's active right now. All right, that's perfect. Hello.
Hello?
Hey, Gavin, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, man?
Good to hear from you. Yeah, just a little heads up that you won the MacBook Pro.
No shit.
Yeah, you were 188th response. We just did a random number generator.
Dude, that's some fucking legit news.
That's good to hear. Yeah, what workstation do you have right now?
Some piece of shit, 2008. Uh, what is this? It's like a ASUS?
All right, okay, good. Because I was like, the thing I was like shit scared of is that the person's like, oh, I already have like a fully spec'd MacBook Pro or whatever. So I guess that works out perfect then.
Yeah, it's perfect. I got this when I was still in the army. So yeah, it's been a while.
Oh wow. Um, all right, cool. You excited?
Fuck yeah, dude. It's
uh,
crazy to like actually hear your voice. It's fucking nuts.
yeah, dude. How long ago do you join the community? Like, what's your background? I read over your survey, obviously, but
Yeah, I joined, what was it, like 3 weeks ago?
you quit your job.
Actually, I quit my job a year ago.
Oh
So
wow. Okay.
I've been doing this for about a year.
Uh-huh.
And then after I quit my job, my girlfriend's a traveling nurse.
Wow.
So, yeah, so we get to travel all over America. And, here, hold on real quick. So, yeah, we get to travel all over America. And then I just kind of travel around doing digital marketing for different people now. And I, like, stumbled across your shit because I'm having a really hard time, like, gaining new clients from these new cities I'm out in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I jumped on your shit, and what do you know? It worked.
Well, dude, I'm glad to hear that. So yeah, next steps are I'm just gonna send you a private message. And you can just send me over your address, and yeah, from there I'm just gonna log into Apple. You're US based, right?
That's right, yeah.
Oh, considering you travel all the time, you do have like a home base, right?
Here, hold on. I gotta be closer to my house. Yeah, I actually, I'll be at my current address for the next, like, month.
Okay, yeah.
Actually, June 1st.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think Apple delivers in like 2-3 days or something like that. So
Perfect.
yeah, what do you want, a silver or space gray?
Space gray.
Space gray, good choice. I have a space gray too. All right, well, dude, it's been a pleasure. As I said, congrats again. And I'll send you a message right now.
Dude, that's awesome. I appreciate it, man.
All right, my pleasure.
Bye.
All right, thanks a lot, dude. Bye bye. All right, so it was number 188. I don't know how well you guys heard that audio, but yeah, it's funny. Like as I was scrolling down that list, like my heart was like, I don't know if you could tell, like I was even nervous, like to figure out like who it was, and to like I was like nervous for the community. So yeah, as I said, that kind of wraps up this video. A big congrats to Gavin, and for the rest of the Six Figure Estimate community. Honestly, like this thing is so, well, I mean, if we print out all of the responses, it would be way bigger than this, but everything that, Kieran and I were able to extrapolate from this, honestly, this thing is just worth so much, and it's just, this thing's worth so much, and this thing is going to help the next, the 2.0 program so much. And yeah, I'm just really, really excited to change the game once again with this new program. But yeah, ladies and gents, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope that gave you some insight as to what goes on in my mind, as well as the Six Figure Estimate community. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.